Hello and welcome to another Firefly video tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to put together our new Feel Good Pop necklace kit. The necklace kit is going to look similar to this in the end, although with the colors that you chose. And you're going to need two tools that do not come with this kit. The first is flush cutters or nail clippers, and the second are chain nose pliers with no teeth on them. What's included in this kit are a set of simple instructions on how to crimp, all your beads for the middle of your necklace, your strand, and then all the components to string the necklace and finish it off. So you'll have 36 inches of wire, a clasp set, 4 crimp beads, 4 wire protectors or wire guards, and 2 crimp covers. So the first thing we're going to do is actually start with the middle of our necklace, which are all these beads in this bigger box. We're going to put on the glass disc beads first. So you'll have your glass disc beads, 2 bone beads, crobo beads, 7 crobo beads, and then 6 sandalwood beads. So you're going to do 3 of the glass disc beads first. Then you're going to add a bone bead, and then 3 more of the glass disc beads. Should look similar to this. So 3, bone, 3, and then add a crobo bead, and do the pattern of crobo, sandalwood, crobo, sandalwood, until you use up all the beads that we've provided. Sandalwood beads are great to use with essential oils, so you could pre-soak these in essential oils, or you can add the essential oils day to day. Just a drop per bead is fine, or you could soak the beads for 24 hours in essential oil before putting them on. So after your last crobo bead, it's going to go crobo, sandalwood for 7 crobos you should have on there. Then you're going to put 3 disc beads again, 1 bone bead, and then the last 3 disc beads. So that you have something that looks similar to this. So we started with the middle of the necklace for this one. Let me move everything out of the way here and leave out my spacers. So the next thing we're going to do is there should be about 42 or 43 beads on your wooden bead strand. For this video, I'm going to put 21 beads per side, so that's 42 beads in all. But you can, of course, adjust your pattern and make your necklace shorter. You can have a ruler handy to measure, so an 18-inch necklace is a good starting point. This one comes to about 22 inches, I believe, so you can definitely make your necklace a shorter one if you would like. Just make sure the beads are even on both sides. So what I'm going to do first is put on my first wooden bead. And then I'm going to take a metal spacer and put it on, or the rose quartz if you have the rose necklace. Another wooden bead, then another spacer, another wooden bead, and then another spacer, so that you see 3 spacers and 3 wooden beads. Just like this. You don't have to use these spacers, but they are provided if you'd like to. Then you're going to fill out the rest with your wooden beads. Now we're ready to do the other side of the necklace. And first of all, you can put a stopper on one side. This is a bead stopper. If you don't have a bead stopper, then you can add a paper clip or even a piece of tape. Oops. And this is not necessary, but it's just to help you so that your beads don't slide around when you start working on the other side. Kind of holds them all in place. But it's best to work with your project down flat. Don't lift it up high to show somebody, or everything could slide off. All right, so for the other side, I'm going to count out my 21 beads to match the first side we did. So I'm going to start with my wood bead, a spacer, another wood bead, spacer, and the last wood bead before I add my last spacer. So again, I should have 3 and 3. And then I just fill out the rest with my wooden beads. So the end product, you should have the same amount of wooden beads on each side. Should look like this. And again, you can put less wooden beads on yours. I'm going to take one end of my thread, or my bead-along wire I should say. I'm going to find a crimp bead. You'll have 4, but you only need 2 for this project. We provided 4 just in case. So you're going to slip on your crimp bead, doesn't matter where you put it right now. And then you're going to grab a wire guard or wire protector, which looks like a horseshoe. And you're going to insert it from the bottom up. So put it through the bottom, and sometimes you can snip off this top if it starts to fray a little bit. So put it up through the bottom so it's pointing up, and then curve it back down to put it back through the wire guard. So up, over, and then back down. So you should have a tail sticking out. So what you're going to do is you're going to slip in one side of your clasp, either the chain or the clasp, and it's going to nestle up in the wire guard, and then you're going to bring up your crimp bead, put it over the tail, and bring it up close. So make everything a little bit tight, leave a little hair of room, like this. And then you're just going to smash down the crimp bead until it looks like a square. And you want to give it a good smash using your chain nose pliers. The wire should be parallel within the crimp bead. And then you're going to take your flush cutters and you're going to get as close as you can to the crimp bead and cut off this tail. Flush cutters are great because they can angle in very nicely. And then I just like to make sure I smashed everything down correctly. Now everything's secure and you could slide all the beads towards your clasp. Now you can either leave this like this with a crimp bead like this, or you have the option of adding one of these crimp covers. If you do the crimp cover, you're going to nestle the crimp inside, and you're going to turn it so that it's flat inside and make sure the wire guard is out of the seam area. Kind of like this. Then you're going to take your chain nose pliers, and I know you can't see right here because of my hand, but you're going to slowly close it and then come in from the side and kind of very slowly work your pliers around until the seam closes nicely. It's all about slow movements. I know you couldn't see that first part, but all I was doing was just closing it while holding everything securely, and then I kind of adjust my pliers and turn them around and close it little by little. So now we're going to repeat the crimping process on the other side by slipping on a crimp bead, slipping on a wire guard, remember up through the bottom, and then bring the tail back down. Make sure you have a good tail to work with. Now you add on your extender chain or your clasp, whichever one you have left over. If you're using the extender chain, put it through the split ring here. Then you pull up your crimp bead. And while your necklace is laying in its natural position on the ground, you're going to actually pull the tail while holding the clasp or extender chain and gently pull the tail, and you'll see everything cinch up. You should see everything cinch up. It should be fairly easy. Once you've got everything close, no gaps in your necklaces, you're going to again smash the crimp down, leaving a little hair of space between the bead and the wire guard. And then you're going to clip off your tail. And then if you put a crimp cover on the other side, we're going to now put a crimp cover here. Otherwise, if you didn't put a crimp cover, then you'd be finished. But if we want to add this crimp cover, again, we're going to go by putting this guy in flat, this crimp in flat inside, making sure everything's out of the way of the seam. And then come in and smash it closed. Well, not smash it, but slowly close it, and then come in and readjust so that everything closes up flush. And see how I'm moving everything around very gently and squeezing where I need to squeeze until everything closes up. And in the end, you'll have a piece that looks like this. This is an adjuster, so you can actually make it a little bit longer if you'd like. That's why if you made a shorter necklace, you can make it a little bit longer. You should be left with 2 wire guards and 2 crimp beads unless you lost them. These are the only extra things you should have from the kit. We hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching and happy beading from us at Firefly.